ever watch a movie that you checked out simply because of the title? Like, you know deep down it's probably gonna be bad, but the title is just so strange you have to know what happens in it. The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars is that for me. For years I've been so interested in seeing how the hell this very small innocent series goes from a little toaster and some appliances trying to find their human master to going to a fucking different planet somehow. I always had this on my Disneycember list, but it always had to get bumped back because something else would come out that I thought just made more sense to review. But now, I've finally done it. This 40-year-old man willingly put on The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. And the only thing weirder than that? It's actually kind of okay. I don't have any irony behind that or one of those it's so good it's bad reasonings. I'm 100% honest when I say The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars is surprisingly sort of charming. It starts off with the toaster and his appliance friends in the new home of their master and his wife. I'm sure some sort of adventure happened in the last one, but I didn't see it because, I'm not gonna lie, I just wanted to get to this one. At first, it really seems to follow the narrative and feel of the original story. A new baby is brought into the home, the appliances don't really know how to react to him, especially the electric blanket. But over time, and a surprisingly really sweet song, like, I don't even like babies in movies, but this song about one almost gets you teary-eyed. The appliances all learn to love it. Even though the animation is a little less quality, it's still very similar to the original, and again, it really tries to capture the original's tone. There's a lot of quiet moments, there's not a lot of zany music, a lot of it is just these appliances talking to each other, and it seems to work fine. But as you imagine, things get pretty goddamn weird pretty quick. Someone or something from the planet Mars comes on down to Earth, abducts the little baby, and the appliances decide it's their job to go and save him. They figure out the baby is on Mars, and they just grab some random appliances around the house to build a spaceship. Yep, these simple household items put together launch you into space. Okay, so this is where the movie either wins you over or completely loses you. To me, they're making it clear there is absolutely no reality in the rest of this. Not that there was a ton in a series about a talking toaster, but it still lives in a normal reality that just happens to have talking appliances in it. This one, not a drop of that. But because of that, it allows the writers to get really, really imaginative with it. When they go into space, what's the first thing they come across? Balloons. Why? It's all the balloons that kids had that they eventually let go of and they fly into the sky. And if you were a dumb little idiot like me when you were a toddler, you always wondered, where'd those balloons go? Logically, they couldn't just lose air and drop back to Earth. No, they had to keep going into space. And this movie is more than happy to indulge that idea. It's thinking like this that is so silly, I absolutely love it. When they do finally get to Mars, they come across the baby and also some other appliances, including the top of a Christmas tree. How did they get there? Well, I guess I won't ruin it just in case you haven't seen it, but needless to say, it is very bizarre and complicated, but also a little funny. So, okay, what's next? It's gonna be a big battle, the Earth appliances fight the Mars appliances? No, Mars is a democracy, so they have an election. Yes, the big third act of this movie is the toaster campaigning to be elected the ruler of Mars. What can I even say to that? This movie is so crazy, but it's clearly written for little kids, and with the characters being about as charming as the first one and these ideas just being so creatively insane, how can I not say that's not incredibly entertaining? I don't know why they decided space was the next option to go to with these movies. Maybe they started watching the Leprechaun films. But if a team of good writers were given the assignment to write The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars, this is probably the best script you could get out of it. It doesn't just phone it in, it does think outside the box. I feel like you kinda have to with such a crazy ass title. I say the only major hit and miss is the songs. Yeah, that first one about the baby was really good, but the ones after it almost sound like those improvised songs on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Like, you can tell they had very little time to work on this. But man, if that's the worst I can say about this movie, that's pretty damn impressive. If you have little kids and they've seen the other movies, I'd say this is definitely a good one to have them see. If for anything else, it just might have them thinking about stuff a little differently and opening up their imagination more. If you're an adult and you like the first movie and you have even the tiniest interest in seeing this, I'd surprisingly say you might have a good time. If you don't enjoy it legitimately, you'll enjoy it ironically, because this is just absolute bonkers. So yeah, I never thought I would say this, but I recommend The Brave Little Toaster Goes to Mars. I know that's surprising. As surprising as finding out one of the head writers of Animaniacs was actually the voice of the toaster. Yeah, I finally just put that together too. I don't know if I was just in the right mood or if this is a legit, really well-written sequel, but if you're in the mood for a small little story about a toaster that travels into outer space, I don't know why you would be, but this movie's got you covered.